Goes by so slow when you're not here. Living life without you's what I feel. Wish I can go back and fix what I broke. But it's too late now, cause you're moving on your own. You like an itch that I can't reach. The way you driving me crazy, cause you know I need you. You really had me smoking, drinking, popping with no feeling. I felt like I was grieving. I really thought I needed. But I miss your touch, your hips, your body and your lips, and the way we kissed when we were just kids. I'm missing you. I'm missing you. But I miss your touch, your hips, your body and your lips, and the way we kissed when we were just kids. I'm missing you. I'm missing you.
Good morning, you beautiful, beautiful people. Welcome back to fucking Talkin Shop with your two hosts, the ones, the only, Nick and Troy. Obviously, I'm Nick. I'm your resident Denver Broncos fan. Coming in hot, no long hair. I think it's been that long, Troy, that we haven't had a pod since I had long hair. This may be fact, maybe fiction, I'm not sure, but good to have you back. And of course, joined by my glorious co-host right here, the 6'5" father figure, homeowner, no other than rocking it in the Queen City, the boy Troy. How we doing this morning?
Tired, but we're here.
Absolutely, bro. I'm absolutely blasted. Stayed up till about 2 and then got up to run this. But at the same time, man, I'm having a fucking blast. It's been a minute. How have you been? How's life? Let's get to it.
It's been slow waiting for the season to start, honestly. Other than that, I haven't been doing shit.
No, I totally agree. I feel like this offseason particularly has been like extra fucking slow for some reason. Like I feel like usually you kind of like, you blend the time of offseason quite well by, doing other things, or I feel like there's a lot going on. This season though, / this offseason, I guess I should say, it's been rough. I feel like just other sports haven't been hitting. Basketball was whack this year, I feel like, which has been like a really good thing for me to pass my time on when I'm not thinking or doing anything football related. And I don't know, I just feel like it's just not been it recently. I feel like it's just been a lot of, bullshit, if you will. But never fear, the time has come. Troy, we are only 23 days away from NFL football, specifically the Denver Broncos kicking off in their first game.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, sir.
I'm ready.
And then I know we got a lot to get into. As you can see, brand new look all around us here. We're trying some new stuff out, so bear with us as we work through it all and really find our niche / home for our overlay here. But as you can tell, over to all the way over there past Troy, if you don't mind pointing towards your Peloton. Yeah, and then go all the way, like, so if you look up and down the way Troy's pointing, we got our brand new list. So this is going to share some of the topics that we're going to be talking about. I won't lie, me and Troy will riff a little bit. We will probably end up talking about 14 gabillion other things as well. But that's going to be a little bit of a nice placeholder to, begin our conversations. So with that being said, before we jump straight into the list, I want to go ahead and just kind of who our teams are, how do we feel about them so far going into the preseason. Now we're 2 weeks in, and where we truly are as a fan in comparison to who our teams are. So Troy, I'll let you go ahead and start this off.
So I'm introducing the team that I like.
Oh yeah, it's been a while, Troy. I think it's been roughly a year since we've had these conversations. So just You know, I know I introduced you as the resident Bills fan, but feel free to kind of deep dive where you guys think you are preseason wise and everything like that. Then we'll dive right into that first thing on the list. So
Okay. As a Bills fan, I think that I'm excited to see what the defense does. I think that some of the pieces they're adding this year, could definitely help. I really, really, really am hoping that Landon Jackson can, you know, build himself a name. So far, the things that I've heard, not sure if that's happening as of right now, but I mean, I think he's definitely capable of it. Um, Offense, I don't think we are going to do anything. We have like 1, 2 playmakers, no actual wide receiver one. I guess Khalil Shakir is, which I mean, I love him to death, but I mean, he's not a wide receiver one material, I feel like.
mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, so I don't know, honestly. Defense, I'm enjoying not what I'm seeing because I haven't seen much. But I like what happened with defense. Offense, I don't understand what the fuck they're doing at all. So we'll see.
No, I mean, I totally understand that. And I feel like that's been a key piece of the Bills is like, you know, hey, how do we really get there, and what's gonna be the next thing to really push us over the hump and take us into that, you know, really winning the playoff game that we need to win, and then also diving into the aspect of like, hey, you know, we've been to the AFC Championship now, damn near almost like every
Twice.
single year. It seems like it's either you or Patrick, you know, or Patty Mahomes and the Chiefs that really kind of get there. But just trying to understand more of like what their idea is on how to improve the offense, especially because they didn't really make a ton of like groundbreaking changes, if you will. So very curious to see you know, what their ideas are moving forward. But that was perfect. Thank you, Troy. Moving on to me. So Denver, as you can see, the Mile High t-shirt, I'm blocking it with my big ass head, but I got a bunch of Denver Broncos memorabilia. Got a football up there on the corner. I mean, I'm in great spirits, if I'm being 100% honest. A lot of upside for the Denver fan base. Obviously, with the acquisition of Bo Nix, the draft, you know, 6th quarterback off the board. And, you know, unfortunately, everybody doubted him. Everybody shit on him. Everybody talked about he's small arm, game manager, yada, yada, yada. And he absolutely proved that to be incorrect. I guess I shouldn't say proved it, but last year he at least showed sparks and you know, took a team that was not supposed to win 5 games to 10 wins and a playoff berth that we haven't seen since the fucking retiring of Peyton Manning. So it has been quite awesome to see. I agree. I think there are similar things with you know, the Denver Broncos similar to the Bills in that way that like we don't really have like a true star on our offense. A lot, like, I mean, and being a Denver fan, I would easily say that Sutton is a very, very, very good asset and stuff like that, but I think it's so tough to say that he is a solidified wide receiver one, could go against the best in the world, because I truthfully don't believe that. But at the same time, I do think that Cortland is a very, very good wide receiver. I would say, you know, he's not a world beater, but he's definitely up there on what he can do. So with that being said, super pumped for this year. We really need to figure out how to stop the run on defense as well as build a run game, because our run game is absolutely fucking dog ass. So if we can figure out how to do that, then I think we'll be in a good situation moving forward. But only can tell from the season as we move forward. But let's go ahead and jump kind of into that first topic we had listed, and we're actually going to be going from bottom up. So the only reason I say that is because it makes the most sense as we kind of dive into these topics. And I think the top 5 QBs will be a little bit of a spicy conversation towards the end, so I think that'll be fun. Personal team final roster. I know these technically have not been released, but I guess we can kind of talk through who we'd want to see, or maybe some of the people that we just mentioned. I know you're talking about Khalil Shakir. Is there any player on the Bills that you would want to see gone from that final roster?
Gone? Damn, I'm not really sure about gone. I'm trying to think, because I feel like I definitely watch games and I'm like, why the fuck are you still on the team? But I can't think of anyone as of right now that I want gone. It's more so like I feel like I've just seen hype, during offseason after the draft and whatnot, and then watching the preseason game and like some of the film that has been posted.
Yeah.
That's like where I'm getting my info. So like I said, I don't really think I've seen anything like crazy bad about anyone.
Mm-hmm.
I know like there's some players that people expected a lot more from, like earlier I was saying, like Landon Jackson. I think people expected him to come out of the gates just like popping the fuck off. But other than people that I want gone, people I'd love to see like, have a career with the Bills, Landon Jackson. I'd like to see, we talked the other day, I'd like to see KJ Hamler
Oh yeah.
or, stay, but that's just because of vibes. He seems like a cool SC. I mean, he's also a speedster.
Yep.
So I mean that doesn't hurt either.
I completely agree. And I think like KJ's like one of those guys, and I know me and you were texting about this not too long ago, and we were pretty much just talking about like how KJ, man, like we had him on the Denver or on the Broncos, and we just didn't have any quarterback play, dude, and it was kind of sad too because we drafted him pretty high, I believe. I want to say like maybe 3rd round or something like that, which I ultimately say high. He's not a 1st round pick, anything like that, but like regardless, he's one of those guys that he always was supposed to blossom. He had a couple like blowout plays that we were like, oh shit, like he could really do this. And then it just never clicked. And then, we had Jerry Jeudy, similar situation where it was like we had all these players that should have been good, but just ultimately never had the chance to pop off. And I feel like now we finally have a head coach. And personally, maybe this is a little crazy of a take, but like I think Marvin Mims is the new age KJ Hamler to what we did. Like I feel like they're the same build, same style, everything like that. They both were kick returners as well as wide receivers. And it's like, to me, at least, from my point of view, now with consistent, decent quarterback play, we see Marvin Mims at the end of the season get activated and absolute go fucking nuts. I think he had 12 to 18 touchdowns in the last 5 games. It's like, if you guys can find a role for him and he's able to just kind of dabble in there, I think you guys would have the ability to utilize him quite well. But I agree. I think it's tough to see such a young player kind of bounce around so much.
Mm.
No, I say that. I think he's like 28 now. But
No, he's only like, well, I mean, he's like 25, 26.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, damn. So we must have drafted him young as shit. But what I was gonna say was for at least the Broncos final roster, I mean, my biggest thing is one, oh, excuse me, oh, gotta get that stretch out, boy, that shit was hurting. We have way too many running backs right now. Like, like we're trying to almost spread the ball too much, and we're trying to be too nice and kind of give some people, but it's like just to run through our running back roster right now, I think we're like 6 deep or 5 deep, and it's like we'll have to cut that back. And I mean, even keeping 4 running backs on the roster is quite a lot of running backs, but we're sitting here with the starters: J.K. Dobbins, R.J. Harvey, which understandable. Our run game, we didn't have a single runner or running back last year who is consistently averaging at least 70 to 100 yards a game, which is fucking nuts. But so we got JK, RJ, we have Tyler Bidet, we have Jaleel McLaughlin, Audric Estime, Blake Watson, and I think that's it. That's a total of 6. 6 running backs, though. I mean,
That is crazy.
yeah.
Hold it down. I'll be right back.
Yep, you're good. Personally, like I really think that for the time being, and kind of the idea of, you know, visualizing who I want to be on the roster, how I want them to be there, and everything like that, I kind of see it break down in a little bit different. And I know that there's a running back battle. Shout out to Cody Rourke, the boys at Locked On Broncos. They've been absolutely killing it. You guys always talk about tuning in every day. I do, man. I stay on top of it. You know, I live in Kentucky, so it's tough to really follow Denver Broncos sports because I'm not there in Dove Valley like they are every single day. But absolutely love catching up, and you know, they're hearing a lot about on the media just of how the running backs fall in place. J.K. Dobbins coming in from the Chargers off of an injury, kind of wild to see them cut him in a way, and stick with Najee, who Najee's been having some issues, which, you know, whatever, we'll dive into that later. But at the same time, seeing a star player like him who played really, really well before the injury last year come onto the Denver Broncos, I'm not necessarily mad about it. I hope it's not another Melvin Gordon situation where we get a running back from the Chargers and they blow dick, but it is what it is, right? Think he's going to be good. I think R.J. Harvey has shown signs. I made an entire 2-minute video of me breaking down R.J. Harvey's tape from the first game of the fucking preseason, and it was literally watching like 2 snaps. I literally was like frothing at the mouth, just so excited to watch some football. And you know, I definitely think he's a rookie. He's got some things to do, but besides that, you know, kind of getting into the other 5 where like Jaleel McLaughlin, Tyler Bidet, Blake Watson, and Audric Estime, like, man, we got some talent there. And like, truthfully, like, I think if we do cut it down to 4, like, I don't really know how we do this, because I know that Jaleel McLaughlin's loved throughout, you know, the Broncos franchise, if you will, currently. Sean Payton's a big fan of the guy. I'm not saying that I don't like him, and I know he kind of held it down for us as one of the primary backs last year that was actually producing somewhat when we needed them to. But like, I think Tyler Bidet, based off like his play last year, whenever he was on the field, he was pumping out big runs, and we needed it, and it was awesome. And it was the idea that like it helped. It really did help when we needed it. And then I would say Audric Estime, man. Like, you don't spend a draft pick last year to get rid of him now. And I mean, it's not, I'm not saying that he wouldn't do good, and I'm sure we could use him as draft capital and maybe trade for some stuff later on, but it's one of those things where it's just so tough for me, because I feel like Audric Estime could be a very good runner. I know he had some sure hand problems last year and he fumbled quite a bit, but all in all, I would say that those 4 would be my 4. I would try to keep Blake Watson on the practice squad if possible, and I would use Jaleel McLaughlin as some trade fodder there. But ultimately, excuse me, sorry. I would say that those would be my 4 running backs that I think are the biggest, especially keys for the offense. I think the wide receiver room, although we don't have any proven wide receiver talent besides Cortland Sutton, I think we have a lot of good fucking talent in that room with Devon Vele, with Marvin Mims, with Troy Franklin, with Pat Bryant coming in as the new guy, with Evan Ingram. I know he's not a wide receiver, but he's playing that joker role that I think will be very beneficial for the offense. And then we also have, you know, a good fullback in Nate Adkins, who's technically a tight end. Like we have some decent players that I think will be really, really interesting, and you know, ways to really push the offense, you know, into what we need it to be later on. So, but all right. Jumping into our next topic, moves we didn't like. So I actually have a couple of these that I necessarily wasn't like the biggest fan of, but at the same time, it's interesting that we made it. So I know there's been a lot of travesty, if you will, around just everything in the league. But trades, acquisitions, anything like that is what we're going to talk about when we talk about things that we don't like, or moves that we didn't like. Me personally, I'm going to have to go with a trade. I think the biggest trade that I wasn't a fan of, at least from my perspective, is going to be Minkah Fitzpatrick to the Dolphins for Jalen Ramsey. For a Steelers organization that is trying to turn the organization around, I just don't see it being a popular move for them to actually solidify some sort of forward progress, right? Trust me, I get it. Minkah Fitzpatrick is older as well, but he's definitely not as old as fucking Jalen Ramsey with this trade. So I just think it's a tough situation all in all. But if I had to choose one of my main moves this offseason that I didn't like, I would definitely say the Minkah Fitzpatrick trade for Jalen Ramsey. I just think for the Steelers to be able to really take that step up on defense, and their defense has notably always been good, right? But their line's solid, their secondary's always been decent, and Minkah Fitzpatrick's been a pretty key piece to that. And with Minkah Fitzpatrick getting traded for now, I want to say like a 35-year-old Jalen Ramsey, I just don't know if that really closes out the secondary for the Steelers. And the Steelers are kind of on a hot season. I feel like with Aaron Rodgers coming in and this being a whole controversy of, you don't have a quarterback, they're rocking with Mason Rudolph until Aaron Rodgers signed. I don't know. I would say that this is definitely going to be a hot seat with them also trading for DK and getting rid of the young killer of Pickens, if you will. I just don't really know. I think it's going to be a really interesting season for the Steelers, and I'm just going to say, hey, Bailey, lock in. You guys might not be good. So, Troy, do you have any moves that you didn't enjoy this offseason that you'd want to point out or anything like that?
I mean, the one that stands out is kind of what you were talking about. I just feel like really, I mean, I guess we can just pile on the Steelers for the time being. I think when I got back, you were saying that I feel like they're basically the same player.
Yeah.
I didn't really understand the trade. I feel like it was kind of what was the point? And then I also feel like with them adding DK, when it happened, I was like, oh, damn, that's a stout offense at the moment, especially if you can add somebody that can actually throw the ball instead of having whoever the hell they were having, because they went through 20 different fucking quarterbacks, it seems, in the past 3 years.
Yeah.
But adding what they added to the offense, it seemed like, oh shit, they might have something.
No.
I know they were kind of lacking with the running back, because they have Warren. Did they draft a running back?
Yeah, Caleb Johnson out of Iowa.
Oh, okay.
Which a lot of people, I mean, so if you've seen that picture of Travis Hunter getting stiff-armed, and it's the welcome to the NFL.
No.
Well, it's kind of stupid here. I'll pull it up. Very, very highly rated. But I just don't know if you really should be putting everything into your rookie running back, because I know they have Warren. They got rid of Najee. But
and I mean, honestly, we've probably talked about this 100 times, because I feel like they that team always seems like it should be a good team, and somehow they get over 500, so everyone's like, oh, we're okay.
Yeah.
But they always just do stupid shit, and that I don't know if I'd consider it stupid shit, but that brings me to my next point, is them getting rid of Pickens. I feel was such a failure.
Yeah.
I know he was hard to deal with. I know he just seemed like a fucking headache. But I mean, you possibly could have had the best wide receiver duo. And now we have to watch that shit happen in Dallas, which is it even gonna happen? Because Dak fucking
I was
sucks.
gonna say, let's not try to act like Dak's a
Like,
fucking quarterback, bro. It's not gonna happen. But
like,
real quick, just to show, before we move on too quick, I don't know if you can see my screen. I don't think I'm sharing it, so it is what it is. If you want to pull
I
the
can
stream
see
up, it's
it.
up there. But with that being said, it's like, so this photo, right? Everyone was like, "Oh, Travis Hunter, welcome to the NFL, bro." First of all, Travis Hunter like was watching the run off the side, off the edge as a corner, and he then makes a run and then tries to dive for him to tackle his legs, and bro just puts his hand on his back. So it's like very out of context photo, but at the same time it's like, I get it, whatever, it's cool. But it is kind of funny because everyone was saying that Caleb Johnson had moments of flash where he looks so good, and then some were like, bro, he looks like the fattest, slowest piece of shit I've ever seen. And it's like, relax, bro. He's a rookie. Like, give him some fucking slack here. But I do think it is going to be very interesting to see how they do. And I agree. To kind of jump right back into the conversation we were having there was, I mean, bro, I really, really, really don't understand why they would get rid of George Pickens unless it was purely just like an off the field issue or anything like that, because it's...
Which it very well could have been. I mean, we've heard the stories.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying that I don't think it wasn't. Like, I do think that it was like, you know, quite an issue or somewhat for them. But at the same time, it's like, bro, if you could have just been able to like force feed him and make him happy, like, I don't know what he wanted from the team, I guess, in my opinion, that would really have changed the idea of, you know, him wanting to stay or not wanting to stay, I guess, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
But I just, you could have, like, bro, and the way that they play is so different. Like, DK's a very much short and in, big receiver, catch it, fall, done, or a, hey, motherfucker, we're going to fucking rip the top off here, and you're going to go down and make an insane one-on-one catch. But George Pickens is very, like, route, like a very technical, just get out, hands, quick catch. I mean, bro, we all saw that one play where, like, I'll give it to him, bro. This shit had caught me off guard, and that was, like, when I really understood that George Pickens was kind of filthy. He's, like, running. He's going, and he's high pointing the ball. He jumps, turns back, and catches it like this. And you're like, bro, how the fuck did you control your body like that? Like, he was just a spectacular catch machine.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, no, I agree.
I don't know. I think it's going to be very interesting because now they have DK, Van Jefferson, and Cam Miller,
Calvin Austin,
and then also Scotty Miller.
right? Isn't that who they have?
Yeah, it doesn't. I mean, it's like, it's just not a notable wide receiver room anymore. And also the money that DK's making, like, don't get me wrong, DK's a great wide receiver. Just there.
But he's been falling off, isn't he? I mean,
Yes.
I wasn't watching a bunch of Seahawks games, but I was
fucking Seahawks.
but I was playing fantasy, so like, you know, you see like players that you expect to be doing things, and like he wasn't doing much. And I feel like because what? I mean, he's 30 something by now, right? 30, 31?
I don't think he's that old.
Is he not?
He's
What is he, like
27.
28? Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
He's a lot
Damn, he's
than
younger than me.
Yeah.
That motherfucker built like a tank, and he's younger than me.
Yeah, I know. That's fucking crazy, but I agree. It's just like, I mean, I didn't realize he was that young either, but it's just wild to think that like they're really gonna hang their hat here on how good, like, because I mean, now I think it all depends too on how good Aaron Rodgers is, because Aaron Rodgers does play a type of football that and I'm not saying that it's a bad type of football, it's a rudimentary good style of football, but like, you necessarily don't always need a star wide receiver when you are scheming an offense very, very well.
And I mean, we saw that with the Bills last season. I mean, they had no type of wide receiver one.
I would almost disagree. I think that was more of insanely good quarterback play, if I'm being 100% honest. I feel like your guys' scheme wasn't that good. Now, I will give you massive props, and we got to talk about this one time, maybe later when we talk about some of our keys, but I was really deep diving our playoff game last year. First of all, I want to set the record straight here. Denver did not get blown out by the Bills. Can we remember that before halftime, we had a field goal to tie to send it the half 10-10, and we missed the field goal, and then our entire team just forgot how to play football. But real quick, we just to remind you here, you ever want to talk about a fucking really, really, really good masterclass of scheming? It was in your pass protection, because Denver's D-line, one of the best D-lines in the fucking league. You guys put Brian Dawkins out fucking 3 steps wide for Nick Bonito because he's a speed rusher, and Nick Bonito obviously is not deep in his bag on a lot of skill moves. It completely took Nick Bonito out of the game in the second half, and it was crazy to watch the all-22 and literally watch the way Brian Dawkins just fucking mugs him, man. Like... Or is it Deion Dawkins? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Brian Dawkins is fucking Weapon X. Jesus. Fucking absolute dog, by the way. Shout out. But Deion Dawkins, like, bro, go. I'll have to pull that shit up, but it was crazy when I was watching this like breakdown on it, and I was like, God damn, Nick Bonito, can we fucking take him inside once? Like, can we stop trying to get around it? But I kind of forgot where I was going with that one. Oh, it was scheming of the offense. I think like Aaron Rodgers, if they are smart enough to put an offense together around like short yardage gains, handoffs, maybe a little bit of a small RPO or play action. Like, I think you could get you could really build a nice offense around the idea of just throwing short passes and letting them develop.
Yeah, but I just fear from what we saw I feel like we've been seeing it happen the past few seasons, especially now last year with what the fuck is his name? From Falcons. What's the
Kirk Cousins?
No, what's the offensive coordinator for the Steelers? Arthur Smith.
Arthur Smith, yeah. He's a run-heavy guy, though.
But even the run plays, I mean, like, dude, like, how many times, like, going back to last year, how many times are you going to run Najee up the middle? Your O-line's not doing anything, and then he just gets stuffed at the line. Like, I don't know. We'll see what happens. I mean, I think that Aaron definitely still can, make some flashy plays, and I feel like we saw that even with the Jets, with him and Adams.
Yeah.
Like, you saw them connect on some pretty big plays, so I think he has the potential, but I don't. If I'm a Steelers fan, I don't think it's our year at all.
Really? So you're big on the idea that Aaron Rodgers is not going to be as good as everyone expects him to be?
I mean, like, I think he'll like show some flashes, but I don't think he'll be able to string it along for 4 quarters every week. But saying that, I also don't think he's going to be like dog shit.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think he's going to be, everyone's going to be like, all right, he needs to just fucking retire. But I don't know. I mean, we'll see. There's other teams that I think are a lot fucking worse. So.
Well, I was gonna say, I feel like there's a lot of teams that are pretty bad right now, but I truly think, like, as I got the tape rolling from his last year highlights and stuff right now, just in the back while we're talking, but it's like I don't think that his arm talent's not there anymore. Like, I don't think it's that. I think it's just giving him the ability to go make it happen, as well as putting a fucking line in front of him. And, like, ultimately, I'll be honest, the Steelers line isn't the greatest, but at the same time, it's fucking better than what the fucking Jets have. And that's why, like, recently, just at the Jets practice, because truthfully, like, and I'll say this, and I know me and you talked about this a lot, maybe offshoot here, but, like, we thought Justin Fields played a fucking hell of a year for the Steelers last year for the first 4 games. Like,
but he was just so run heavy. Like, if you actually watched him throw the ball, and I think Jets fans are seeing that from the preseason stuff. He's
so bad, bro.
He
so bad.
I'm not trusting him to throw a ball. I'm not trusting him to. I mean, like, because I think that was the thing that a lot of, like, he'd make a play, but it was him, running for 20, 30 yards. I think it was very rare. Honestly, nothing comes to mind of him actually making a big pass play, which obviously I understand, like, it doesn't always need to be these big flashy pass plays. Like, it can be these short passes and let the receiver do the work and stuff. But like, I just, and I think that's the thing with, I think Rodgers can make those big plays if needed. And I think with him being older and he's not mobile and stuff
Yeah.
like that, I think he's smart enough to actually do something. So I think we will see better quarterback play than we did last year for sure.
Yeah.
Jets fans, I'm sorry, because
Yeah.
I don't know.
Personally, though, I will say, yeah, like, I think they just had a joint practice with the Giants, right? Or no, it wasn't the Giants, it was the Falcons, maybe? I don't remember who it was. Who did they just have their joint practice with?
I forget too.
Regardless, I can't remember, but it was so funny because they asked like one of the D linemen or whatever, or maybe a linebacker, and they were like, "Yeah, man, how do you feel about Justin Fields?" And he was like, "Well, I can't really tell you." Because he was scrambling almost every play because he was like, we were just absolutely blowing through their D or their O line, and it's like, yeah, bro, you're right. Like, he can't really, like, he has to rely on his legs. But I mean, there's videos that are coming out from training camp, and we're not going to show him. We're not going to do him dirty like that. We hope he does well. We never wish evil upon anyone except Patrick Mahomes.
And the Dolphins.
Yeah, but Tua does it to himself, so I'm not really too worried about that. But like, he's missing wide open fucking like practice balls, like practice passes, just a quick offhand grab, fucking running an empty play, no defense, and he's sailing these like 5 fucking yards to the right or left, and it's like, you don't want that to come out right now because it's only going to put you guys in a hot seat faster, and it's just like, it's not what you need. But ultimately, bro, what I would tell you right now, though, fucking, if you're a fantasy football player, draft the Jets fucking running backs, because
I thought about that too.
They got some young stars too. I think it's going to be really, really good for them. Everything like that. I think it's going to be great. But all right, moving on from trades we didn't like or moves we didn't like, let's go ahead and talk about some moves that we did like. One being Justin Fields to the Jets. I feel like Justin Fields needs a place to be able to start to actually continue to grow his career, and I think that that's going to be a great step in the right direction for him to better himself as a player and maybe even take over his own franchise.
Okay. I mean, I
think it's ultimately good for him, but
what's their quarterback room? Who's even there at this point?
That's actually a great question. I don't know who
I really don't know.
Let's see. Oh, here we go. Depth charts. If I saw that correct, oh yeah. We got Justin Fields, Tyrod Taylor, Adrian Martinez, and Brady Cook.
I don't know who 2 of those are.
Yeah, the last 2, I have no idea. But, bro, look at their running back room, bro. Breece Hall and Braylon Allen. I think they're both great running backs, especially young, too. Wide receivers, Garrett Wilson, Tyler Johnson, Xavier Gibson, and Brandon Smith. At least we know 2 of them. Oh, I'm sorry. Garrett Wilson, Josh Reynolds. I didn't know Josh Reynolds was on the team. That's cool. And then everybody else is kind of... Alan Lazard, Malachi Corley. I think Malachi Corley will be okay. Alan Lazard, if he's healthy, he'll be good. Tight ends, kind of null and void. Who do they have on their defense? Is their defense good? We got Quincy Williams. Sauce, I guess, if you consider him good.
Don't put respect on him. Yeah. Do not do it.
Trust me, I won't fall into the narratives. But yeah, no, I mean, tough quarterback room there for sure. For sure.
I'll bring up. I mean, like the DK trade I liked until I didn't like it anymore once they got rid of Pickens. But we talked about that a little bit. Like, I understand it. I kind of like. I'm just looking at, because honestly, at this point, I fucking forget what all happened.
I kind of have them ranked, or they have them ranked here on this ESPN.
That's what I'm looking at right now. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. I like the Debo trade.
What was it?
The Debo trade.
I was actually just about to say that. Yeah, I actually like the Debo trade too. Everybody's been clowning him for being fat or whatever, and it's like, bro, I don't think he's that bad. Like, let's not act like he wasn't a star key contributor to the fucking 49ers offense, but...
And and I also think like if him and if he can stay healthy, and I think if Scary Terry, if they can, did they figure that out, or
No, they
are they in
will.
the process of
They
figuring that
will.
out?
Bro, he's not gonna leave, man. It's like Michael
Yeah,
Parsons. That motherfucker's not going anywhere, dude. They
yeah.
will re-sign this. Bro. It's that song and dance that everybody does just to, ensure that they're getting paid and doing what they need to do. But
Mm.
ultimately, he won't be going anywhere, man. I can almost guarantee you that.
But I like that trade because I think bringing in like pairing those two together,
Yeah.
uh, um, as your receivers, I think that's going to look really good. And I think just like having Debo as like such like a Swiss Army knife of a player that like I feel like the 49ers were using him. Like I think the Commanders are really doing something. Like I think they can make some like pretty exciting moves this season.
I would agree. So the only caveat, in my opinion, to that is their defense, bro. They
But they who'd they add?
Bobby
They added
Wagner.
Von Miller, which I mean,
Yeah.
I think Von can still make some plays, but
Bro, they're
he's
calling it the
old.
entire retirement home, bro, from 2015. We got Bobby Wagner, Von Miller. We got another, what is it? There's another linebacker that's old as fuck there. I'm not saying that they're not good, bro. Obviously, they're like all pro still, which is wild to think about. But it's also, that's the worry is like, hey, man, like, these guys are kind of are up there in age, and it's like it's a tough league, man. Like this league is not forgiving at all. Like, and I
Mhm.
feel like it's just you're kind of dabbling into the injury territory. But hey, they fucking played a hell of a defense last year, especially in the playoffs. So, I kind of have to close my mouth on that one and just let that play out. But we also didn't really talk about the draft. We could definitely do that another day if
I
we
was
needed
gonna.
to or want
Oh, I
to.
was actually gonna ask if you wanted to talk about the draft, just a
We
couple
can
players or
we can we
something.
can run through it. We can maybe do like a top three, but real quick, I want to talk about one more move that I truly liked, and this one's a little bit different. So I am not a fan of the Ravens because they're in my conference, but Jair Alexander, bro, from the Packers. I mean, he's been one of the key star defensive players for the Packers for the past decade. It felt like I think he's only been there for like 5 years or whatever, but ultimately he's really good, and I think that him going over to the Ravens, being opposite of Nate Wiggins and Marlon Humphreys, like they definitely need the help. Their defense has had some issues, and I think that that'll be really interesting to see. But that was one of my big caveat / cool picks. So, oops, I keep forgetting that happens. 2025. Let's see, NFL draft.
While you're doing that, I'll just say I got to give my flowers because I honestly I feel like the Patriots had a hell of an
Off
offseason
season.
and
That's a good
draft,
point.
dude.
That is a good point, bro.
I don't
I
think
didn't
they'll
even think
do
about
much with it.
mentioning that. And I
We'll
fucking hate the
see.
Patriots.
Yeah, but I mean, we'll see what they do with it. To be honest, I thought they should have kept Milton. I thought he was the better quarterback, but um, no, I mean, I like if they can figure shit out, they could be a really exciting team to watch. Like, I feel like they got
Oh,
some
I
talent.
I totally agree. I think, bro, and that's like Drake May has to prove himself. He obviously
Hmm.
hasn't done that yet, but he showed very good glimpses of him making plays when it mattered most. And I mean, Trayvon Henderson for fucking Ohio State being their running back. I mean, he looks probably, if I had to guess, or based off the 2 games of preseason that we've watched, he has been the best rookie running back to put any tape on film, right? Or
Hmm.
tape on field. So truthfully, it's been very interesting to watch, and I think it's going to be interesting to see how it all plans out, kind of moving forward. I also want to give flowers to the Giants. And everybody, I know the quarterback play and the offense is uncertain. Their defense, man, that's going
Hmm.
to be a hell of a defense to play, whoever you are.
Hmm.
Like Brian Burns, Kayvon Thibodeau, uh, Abdul Carter, like bro, their whole line is just filthy. It's going to be a problem, but I do agree. I think that was a good point with the Patriots. Their acquisition of Stephon Diggs, they finally got a true wide receiver one,
I'm gonna
quote
go get
unquote.
Cove real quick. I'll be right back.
All right, like I really think that it's going to be an interesting aspect on who they are, but we will dive into a little of the draft. I'm going to pick out a couple players that I think are very, very good pickups. One, as I mentioned, Abdul Carter. Will Campbell for the Patriots is really, really good, especially with them needing to rebuild their entire roster and kind of get up from nothing here. I think that's a great way to get there, is to build through the O-line. Mason Graham, I don't think that's terrible. It is what it is. I don't know if the Browns really needed a lot of D linemen there with the new contract under fucking Myles Garrett. But Ashton Genty, I think that's a phenomenal pickup. And then Carolina, man, that's a team that has low-key been grinding in silence. They're stacking days, head down, really just trying to put good tape on film, and it's or good play on film, and I feel like it's been working, man. Like, Bryce Young looks phenomenal. Tedero McMillan with their pickup there looks good. Their young wide receiver room with Jalen Coker, Hunter Renfrow, Adam Thielen, like... I mean, they've got a little bit of a squad. I would say that they're one place that might be quote-unquote lacking would be the running back room, but Chuba Hubbard, man, looks fucking good. Like, he's been balling. I think the Panthers are a team to watch down there in the NFC South. I think that it's definitely a team that can show some interesting aspects. Look at that little man. Yes, sir. What up, baby? Cove.
You're talking about the Panthers, though?
Yes, I was.
I think that they have the potential to be exciting.
Yeah.
I think it's just one of those things, though. Like, I feel like we just still have to see more out of Bryce Young, because their receiving core, dude.
That's kind of good, bro. Like, they're sleepers. Yeah. Like, they're not proven except for Adam Thielen, but like, I mean,
and Hunter Renfrow.
Well,
Hunter Renfrow can be something dangerous.
Trust me, I know. He used to route my fucking corners up for about 5-10 years. I always loved that clip from the Pivot podcast when they're talking to Derwin James, and they're like, "Who would be like the toughest people to game plan for?" And he was like, "Tyreek, Renfrow."
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, "Wait a minute, did you just put Hunter Renfrow after Tyreek?" And he was like, "Yeah." He was
he's like
the
that.
Encyclopedia salesman. Oh, that ain't no encyclopedia salesman. He was like, "You watch film, don't you?" And then there's literally a clip of him running like the most insane fucking back route on his ass, and just. That's so. Oh, dude, those edits go crazy. But besides that, though, I mean, I really feel like, especially to touch on the Panthers real quick, they only have to beat the Bucs in their division, bro. Let's be real. I think the Falcons could be good with Penix, but it's just one of those things that has to happen, and then I'll understand it. But
yeah.
But real quick, to continue through some of the people that I really, really like, I know I talked about Abdul Carter. I talked about Ashton Genty. I talked about Will Campbell for the fucking Patriots. Obviously, Cam Ward. I think Cam Ward was easily the best quarterback out of this draft, and I think the second best quarterback went in the first round as well, being Jackson Dart to the Giants. I am smoking.
I think he's going to be good.
Dart, boy, trust me. I'm bought in on Jackson Dart. I think he's going to be good. I really like his play style. He's very, off the cuff, very loud, very on it, and he's like a mini Josh Allen in my opinion, where he's like, I'm not afraid to run through a motherfucker's face, which I think is needed. So. Those would kind of be my picks for.
You know who I'm excited about? Hold on, because I got his name up here because I can't fucking pronounce it. Emeka Egbuka.
Yeah, Emeka Egbuka. Yeah.
The receiver.
Mm-hmm, for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did he go in the first round?
Yeah, I forget what round he was.
Yeah, you're right. And it's crazy, bro, with Emeka Egbuka too. Like, I actually picked him up in my dynasty fantasy where we only draft rookies, because it's like, bro, like, he was a star and all in college, and like, bro, you put him with Baker Mayfield?
Yeah, no, I mean, I think
Baker Mayfield, low key, they have the potential to be a dark horse Super Bowl fucking like candidate, like. If they get rolling, man, they'll do pretty fucking well, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I agree.
But awesome. All right, let's keep it pushing here. All right. Now, let's go ahead and jump into this says divisional titles and future bets. I think we come back to that and we talk about breakout sophomores first, and then we jump into those. So, breakout sophomores, I'm only going to pick one, and I'm actually so high on this guy, and it's kind of ridiculous, but I'm going to go with Ricky Pearsall on the 49ers.
Okay. We didn't see much of him last season because he got shot, right?
Yeah, because someone tried to rob him for his Rolex, and they didn't even get the watch off him, which is crazy. They did shoot him, though. They did shoot him.
But he came back though at the end of the year, and I think he
played well. It was all right. Like, he didn't really get a ton of opportunity, but he did well with what he had, which I respect.
Yeah.
Do you have any sophomores that you're interested in seeing how they pan out?
I mean, obviously, I gotta go to the Bills. Just somebody that I've watched a great deal of. Keon Coleman.
Yeah, that's true.
I know he's had some issues with drops, which kind of hindered some big plays he could have made or almost made last season. And I just feel like his route running wasn't the best. I think it was very one-dimensional. But it seems like he took the offseason. I think he put on some muscle. I think he's gained a little bit of speed. I know I have seen some clips of him, at practice and stuff. Still, I'm trying to get those drops under control. But I mean, he's also making like those kind of like those pick and plays that we talked about, like these crazy like contorting your body to make the catch. So I'm excited to see what he does.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think that's a bad take either. I mean, if you want to throw out our specific teams, I would say Troy Franklin, his connection with Bo Nix, especially with, where he's coming from, and having both Oregon kind of backgrounds there. I think that would be cool. But, all right. Future bets. Do you have any? I only have one here, so I'm not really well endowed in this. I mean, I could probably pick a couple more, but I only have one.
What is yours?
Mine is, this is going to be crazy. It's plus 8,000. I have $5 on it. I win 380. It is Bo Nix to win the 2025 MVP.
Okay. I feel like it's not like an outlandish thing just off of the fact that I feel like as far as what the MVP award is supposed to be, which I know we've this past season and the season before, that's been a big issue. But I feel like with what you guys have, it like I could see if he does pop off, I could see him getting it.
Oh yeah, I and that's why I placed it too. It's like also I don't think it's crazy because like, and I know this is like if if Jaden Daniels doesn't make that deep run playoff berth, Bo Nix wins Rookie of the Year. He had better stats. He had more touchdowns, less interceptions, all this stuff. Like, Bo Nix overall had a better year. Stat wise. Now, actual football wise, you look at Jaden Daniels and look what he did with his time on the field, and you're like, of course. Yeah, I mean, he made it all the way to the NFC fucking championship. That's ridiculous. So at the same time, I'm gonna give Jaden Daniels his flowers. He's phenomenal. And one of my good buddies, Gabe, shout out Gabe, man. He's a big Commanders fan, and what's funny is we both sucked for the past like decade, right? Like, we've not been good. It's been tough, and we always play each other. Me and him always bet or whatever, and I'll never forget. It was like 2 years ago. It was when Denver and them played, and we won off a Hail Mary, or we tied the game off a Hail Mary, and then missed our like extra 2-point conversion or something and lost the game. And I just remember it was so funny, but it's like it's so wild to think that back then his quarterback was like Taylor Heineke and we had Russell Wilson or some shit. I don't even know who they had. And now we both have solidified franchise number one quarterbacks, and it's so fucking awesome, man. Like, it's crazy to see how things have changed, and it's just so cool to watch. So do you have any futures down? I think August 29th is the official, or maybe August 18th or something like that. 19th is the official FanDuel Futures Day, where they release every single futures bet on the sportsbooks apps?
I haven't looked, and I should have. I haven't looked at like
Oh, okay,
anything that they
man.
got going. But if as of right now, I don't know if this is considered is future just awards,
No, futures is like
like
winning the
like winning the
division,
division and stuff.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah.
Well then I'll just say this. I think that the Dolphins are going to come last in the AFC East.
Wow, you think the Jets are gonna be better than the Dolphins?
I do, yeah. I think the Dolphins are.
They're a dumpster fire, bro. Do you hear about how bad they're talking about like their own team and their head coach? Did
Oh,
you see what
yeah.
fucking Jalen Ramsey was saying at the pod? Like he did like an interview with the Steelers, and they were talking about coming there, and he was like, "Oh man, I'm so happy I was able to make it, yada yada yada," and he was like, "I just finally feel good to be on a team where the head coach is respected."
I mean, that doesn't.
Like, whoa.
It's not a surprise to me whatsoever.
Isn't that just wild though? Like the thought that like your head coach in your locker room is not respected. I remember that was just like Nathaniel Hackett. No one respected him. And then when Sean Payton came in, he turned it on its head and he's like, no, none of this shit's happening because I will be fucking respected. I've earned my time. I have a Super Bowl ring. Do you have a Super Bowl ring?
Yeah.
Who in this team has a Super Bowl ring? Oh, nobody, right? All right, yeah, cool. So you're going to fucking listen here. And, bro, I mean, he turned around our franchise overnight. He made Russell Wilson a 9-win quarterback when he had just was a fucking 3-win quarterback the year before. And then he cut his ass, $89 million in dead cap, drafts a rookie, rebuilds an entire team, and we make the playoffs. It's like, I don't see Mike McDaniels doing that anytime soon, just being 100% honest.
No, and I think you kind of see that, like, you see what's going on in their locker room. You see the comments that Tyreek Hill made,
Yep.
at the end of last season. You see, like, just like, I feel like just these arguments and small, like,
Bickering
things that keep,
internal,
that keep
yeah.
popping up. Yeah.
Well,
So,
I truly think too that I think that he could turn it around, but I think it starts at making some massive changes at your positional players.
mhm.
I hate to say it, Tua can't stay healthy, man. Get a different fucking quarterback. There's
Well, and
like,
he's showing that it's not really worth the pain that it's caused the organization. I mean, look at,
yeah,
like, dude, you want to talk about Justin Field missing these practice passes and stuff. Tua's doing the same fucking thing, and wasn't it what 2-3 years ago? Oh my God, what did Tyreek say? He plays the perfect balls or something, or he has the perfect balls or some shit like that. Like they're all singing a different tune at this point.
yeah, like no one's aligned. Like no one really knows what the message is coming out of camp, and I think that's a big issue because it's like, hey, like you kind of need to be on the same level here. So I agree. I don't think that's a crazy hot take. I would even say like speaking of a conversation here too with this is like just to stir the pot here, but I think this could be a year that the Chiefs don't win the AFC West.
I have thought that as well. I think that the Broncos and the Chargers have just like looked a lot better, have made a better moves. I mean, I think we even saw it last season. I don't I get the hype, but at the same time I don't agree with people, putting Mahomes. Honestly, I don't even agree with them putting him top like 5 at this point because I don't think like last season, he wasn't the game changer that they had. Like he wasn't putting his team in the best situations, I feel like. I mean, he wasn't putting his team obviously in the worst situation,
Yeah.
Super Bowl, but
No, I mean
I
I
think
don't think you're crazy for saying that. I mean I do think saying that he's not top 5 is a little wild to me. I do think he's still balling out at the quarterback position. I mean he's still making magic happen. Whatever. If you want to be honest, like you do. Although I hate the guy, I do have to give him his flowers in a way that like with a team like last year, bro, he still made the fucking Super Bowl, and their team was
yeah.
not good last year. Like. And then, of course, it comes down to the one-score games and winning them. But, like, that's football. If you can keep it
Mhm.
within one score and then go win it by some miraculous way, hey, bro, it happens. Do I think some of those calls were definitely favored towards them? Absolutely. That's just the game that we live in, and it's fine. But, like, I do think, though, without any real change to their O-line, people figured out the way to beat Mahomes and to absolutely blow them out. It's get to the
Yeah.
fucking quarterback as fast as you can. Bro,
Yeah.
that D-line on Philly, I think they gave him less than probably 5 seconds, 3 seconds to get the ball off. And he had nothing. There was nothing he could do because his wide receivers are not absolutely. That's a screenshot moment. Someone clip this. Bailey will be beating your ass after this.
No, continue.
Co throws double upper deckies, just so everybody is wondering. Yeah. See, damn right. Yeah. But like, I do think there's a solid model on how to beat Mahomes, and I think every team's going to slowly trying to put that together now. But then it comes to the fact where it's like, oh well, they've always had a star-studded O-line, and that's why you haven't been able to get to him. They've lost a lot, man. They've lost a lot. And I was talking to my buddy who's a Chiefs fan in my office, and he was like, oh, yeah, we fixed the left tackle issue. It's fucking, we drafted Simmons, James Simmons or something like that. Whatever. It was like the last pick in the first round. Yeah, he definitely was the best offensive tackle off the board, and he went last because of some injuries that happened in his senior year. But it's like, is he going to be able to bounce back off of an injury that fast? It's like you're also putting a rookie up against fucking seasoned veterans. Like that's a tough task. So, I don't know. I just think I think the AFC West can have three playoff teams again, like we had last year with the Chiefs, Chargers, and Broncos. I could even see it flipping to, Chiefs, Broncos, Raiders, Chiefs, Raiders, Chargers, Broncos, Chargers, Raiders. I'm just saying, like, I'm not saying that the Chiefs may be the bottom team, but I just think that the AFC West is becoming an absolute fucking just bloodbath. Look at the head coaches. Every single head coach in the AFC West is a Hall of Fame head coach.
I feel like it's almost coming down to like the new AFC North. How the AFC North was always so competitive with the Bengals, Ravens, Steelers. I feel like,
which I think they still are, but
they are. But at the same time, I feel like the Bengals needs to figure some things out to get back to where they were a few years ago. But I could see the AFC West turning into something like that.
Oh yeah, I totally agree. All right, let's jump into these last little couple things here. We'll rattle off the best defense, best offense pretty quick here, and then we'll make our exit out of the top 5 QBs. But for best offense, do you have anybody top of mind that you kind of think through right now?
I mean, I think the Eagles are always going to be there, because I mean you have Saquon, to add that to any offense, and I think he's gonna put up numbers. Ravens, I think, are gonna be there. I think the Bills, just because I feel like Josh Allen is, special. Who else?
Hold on. But if you had to pick one, like the best offense in the NFL, if I force you to choose one, who are you picking? And why?
I'd probably say the Eagles.
I don't think that's crazy.
And why? I mean, a little bit, like I said, Saquon, you just add him to any offense and it immediately gets better. I also just think like the Ravens have a good offense, yes, but I feel like the Eagles' weapons, I mean, their O-line, even just their receiving core,
you have some stars on this here. AJ Brown, Devontae Smith.
Yeah, I just feel like it's different.
Yeah, and they got Saquon, which is just so fucking crazy, bro.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but I'm gonna hit you with something crazy here, and this may be a little controversial, but let me back it. I think per stat right now, and obviously I'm using a sample size of half of the year, which I guess is not technically what I should do, but I think that this will bleed into this year, and I think we'll see a big spike here. It's the Bengals. Bengals stayed competitive and almost clinched playoffs by the sole fact that Joe Burrow outthrew every single team he played against, because they have no defense. They were winning games 48-45. Like, in my opinion, bro, you put any other quarterback in his shoes. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to try to sit here and act like he doesn't have two of the best receivers in the league, or at least one of the best receivers. I mean, he undoubtedly has exchangeable number one receiver. In my opinion, the number one receiver goes to JJ or fucking Jamar Chase. I think they're exchangeable. I really think you could flip a fucking coin. Oh, it's JJ, and that's number one. Or you flip a fucking coin. Oh, it's Jamar, because they're both just that fucking good. And to think that they were on the same team together, wild. With Joe Burrow, wild. Insane.
Yeah.
And then people wonder if that 2019 LSU team was no good, or if they're not the best team in college football history. Yeah, they were, in my personal opinion. But I digress. I think that Chase Brown, their running back, who I think is now in their third year, looks fucking phenomenal, man. Has played really well, hasn't had too many issues, just all around great player in my opinion. And their O-line obviously has some issues, but at the same time, like, I feel like it hasn't really been that big of a problem towards the back half of the season, just due to the fact that Joe Burrow is so good. And I really think if you could pick and pull any quarterback to put in his shoes, I don't think a ton do that well, because they ask so much of Joe Burrow, and Joe Burrow has to be this undoubtedly perfect quarterback to be able to go win them games, because their defense fucking lets up 65 points a fucking game. But I would just say per stat and per capita, I would say that the Bengals have the best offense.
Yeah, and I guess honestly, I feel like I kind of put them on a back burner just because
They lose.
it's like, yeah, they lose. And like, yeah, I mean, they'll put up 40 something points, but then they'll let up,
70. Yeah, it's just so tough, man. I really, with that defensive point there, like, they need to figure out the Trey Hendrickson situation. And I think I preached when people drafted him, and my boy Mike said that Shamar Stewart wasn't going to be that good from Texas A&M. Just saying, based off training camp footage, which is nothing to go off of, but based off training camp footage in preseason, he has been fucking mogging O-lines. He looks unstoppable. He just hit Joe Burrow in practice because he couldn't slow himself down, and then they almost got into a big fight. Like, hey, bro, protect your fucking quarterback better. How about that? So,
Yeah.
All right, best defense, it's no question. I'm just going to throw it out there. The Denver Broncos easily have the best defense in football, and that's all I have to say. There's really no argument for my side.
I would say, I guess we'll have to see, what happens. But I think the Giants have some, like you talked about it. I
That's a
think
good
the
point.
Giants have some special talent that can really get to a quarterback. I don't know what their secondary looks
their
like.
corners and safeties aren't like top shelf, but they're definitely
Jesus.
they're good. I think that they're good enough that they could still cause a problem. I just don't know if they're like upper echelon to where and now bear with me here, but it's like we do have reigning defensive player of the year Pat Surtain. Jahdae Barron looks really good. We have Riley Moss. Shout out white people in the secondary. Harrison Smith held it down forever. We finally got a corner. 2, Cooper DeJean, who picked off Patrick fucking Mahomes. Cooper DeJean is not a safety. He's just a corner that locked down your number one. And then we got our boy, being from North Carolina, me and you, Jaquan McMillan from ECU, fucking undrafted free agent, all the way up to the starting slot corner. And guess what? Our Virgin Mary Kay Adams, the woman we idolize and love so much, was just interviewing Patrick Surtain. I was talking to him, and she was like, if you had to pick one person to like tell people to go watch film on from Denver's defense that's not you, who is it? And he's like, J-Mac, Jaquan McMillan, man. He's like, he is just a big play creator. And look last year, man, that game against the Browns on Thursday night where Jameis Winston and Bo Nix fucking went toe-to-toe in a heavyweight matchup and were fucking just throwing haymakers. Jaquan McMillan sealed the deal with a fucking pick six. So, I think if the Giants build up a little bit of secondary, maybe go draft some blue chip players, or maybe even just trade for one blue chip guy to be that true lockdown corner. I agree. I think they could really give Denver a run for their money in best defense.
Yeah.
But, all right, sleeper teams. Let's do it. Dark horse time. I have a couple dark horse teams this year that I'm really on the lookout for, and I'm really curious to see how they do. But I want to see, what team do you think are sleepers and maybe could be, if they go on a run, a Super Bowl contender?
Well, Super Bowl contender,
Or just sleeper
not.
in general. It's just sleeper in
Yeah,
general. But
I think that, like, I mean, I brought them up already. But I think the Patriots, honestly,
that's
I think they can. I mean, I guess we'll see what the Bills do, but so I hope that they don't, get first. But I could definitely see them being second easily. And honestly, to that point, I think that they could even potentially make the playoffs. Um, like you said earlier, we need to see a little bit more out of Drake May.
yeah.
But I mean, I think they've built themselves a little roster.
Oh yeah. I totally agree. I think that the Patriots could be a team that really shows. Me personally, I think they need at least one more year to kind of just build up, but I could be wrong. I mean, look at Jaden Daniels and his team taking them all the way to the NFC Championship in 1 year. So who really knows? I think it's one of those tested times that we'll just have to look at and go from there. But my team, I'm going to go. How deep down the rabbit hole do I really want to go? So I got two.
Okay.
First one, I'm going to go Buccaneers.
Okay.
And when I say Buccaneers, obviously they made a playoffs last year, whatever. I think they're a dark horse Super Bowl contender. I think if they get hot in the playoffs, Baker gets fucking cocky, it could just end in what they want it to end in. So I'd be very curious to see how it goes. Other one is a team a sleeper that I think will do really, really well this year that's not really looked at is the Cardinals.
Okay.
I think with Trey McBride, their wide receiver room, I mean, if their O-line can hold on, they got James Conner, like, they got some fucking killers, man. I really think that they got some really, really key players that could do really well.
Yeah.
So, I'll be curious to see how that works out for them, but those are my sleepers.
Okay.
All right.
I like it. I like it.
Last but not least, baby. The one and only here. Top 5 QBs in the league.
Let's hear it.
All right. This is in no particular order. This is just my top 5.
Okay. Let's hear it.
Joe Burrow.
Okay.
Josh Allen.
Okay.
Lamar. Patty. Matt Stafford.
Okay. I like it. Honestly though, I think I would go. I guess I'll go no order. It's similar to yours, but I think I might switch out Matt Stafford with Jared Goff.
Okay. I don't mind that at all.
And if we're going into the season, I'm trying to think. No, I guess that's the only one I would change. But I think after this season, I think I'll be taking out Mahomes for like a Herbert or maybe even Bo Nix.
Yeah.
Or maybe I mean, I don't know. I think Baker can have himself a year, honestly.
Oh, absolutely. I think he could. Baker could be. I'm not saying that like they're not like those are my say all be all quarterbacks. I just personally think that those are the top 5 quarterbacks in the league. And it's just no doubt to me on those. But with that being said, like I think Baker Mayfield's a great quarterback. I obviously think Jalen Hurts is a phenomenal quarterback. I think Jared Goff's a good quarterback. I think Jaden Daniels, Bo Nix, I would even say is really good. I wouldn't say that he's elite. I want to make sure that's clear. I don't think Bo Nix is elite. I understand. I think it's tough to even put Jaden Daniels in the elite category because we've only had 1 year as a sample size for him. But like, I just threw on top plays here for us to round out our morning with, and it's like Lamar, man. Like a lot of people criticized him for his arm strength, and I feel like it's been up ever since they said something. So, I would even say,
Jesus.
I feel like there's a couple quarterbacks that are kind of slept on a little bit. Like I low-key want to see Trevor Lawrence do well this year, but I just don't know if he will.
I don't think he will.
I know. I think he's just in such a hot seat that it's a little tough for them right now. But God,
I also just feel like he's had time, and I feel like we just have not seen like what people were expecting to see.
Yeah. That's understandable, I guess.
Good Lord.
But CJ Stroud too. CJ Stroud's a good quarterback too.
He is, but I think it was kind of like how you were saying with like Jaden Daniels and Bucks, like it's too early. Like you can't just go off of this one season. And I feel like he had like that one good season where they made the playoffs, and I feel like everyone was like, "Oh my God, he's going to be up there." And then we see him the next season. But did he get injured or?
He had,
or maybe
both of his wide receivers got injured, and he lost 2 O-linemen. But now, remind you though, I was just hearing this, and people were talking shit about C.J. Stroud having a sophomore slump. He won a playoff game last year. It's like, well, okay, yeah, sure. If you look at stats, it dipped a little bit, but it wasn't like a nosedive. Like it dipped. Like he didn't have as good of a year as he did his first year, but he beat the Chargers in the playoffs. Let's not forget this. Like that game was one of the worst games probably ever. If you ever watched it, it was horrible. I think each quarterback threw 5 interceptions, but Kyler Murray runs like a fucking toddler. That's so funny to me every time I see it. But at the same time, I do think that there's a lot of quarterbacks out there. But all right, Troy, I think it's about time we wrap this up. What do you think?
Yeah, I need to change this motherfucker.
All right. Well, we always got to end on a hot take. Do you have something here we want to get out into the world, or
the Dolphins are dog shit? Tua should have retired last season.
All right.
I've been sitting on that.
All right. My hot take is Sam Darnold was a merchant of the Vikings offense, and I don't think he'll be good on the Seahawks. And I like Sam Darnold. I'm sorry. But that's it. That's what she wrote here. So on that note, everybody, I hope you have enjoyed. We obviously are still tweaking and learning. It's our preseason as well, so we'll get better as we go. But without a further ado, we appreciate y'all's time here. And let's send it off in some fashion. And you guys have a great motherfucking Sunday.
My heart spills, so I'm cleaning up a mess, yeah. Gotta go to church, feel the demons at my neck, yeah. When I'm on a pill, I be feeling like I'm blessed, it's a curse. When I'm on the drugs, I'm the worst, shawty. Tell me how it feels, tell me does it hurt.